Oh,
I'm trying to see if we're...
Okay, there we go. We're live.
okay. No touching anything.
No.
Sarah, we're good?
We're good.
Welcome to the VIP Broadcasting Show Part 2. Part 1 destroyed. Yeah, we screwed up. Hope everybody had a good Christmas and a good year last year and a Happy New Year's. We're going to be start doing broadcasting every month, talking about the paranormal world. You can join in, ask us questions. We will answer it to the best of our knowledge. We will talk about certain topics. If you want a topic that you want us to talk about, email us. You can see the address up there, and then we can talk. And today our subject is orbs. And I know everybody's dying to hear about orbs, so we'll get to start right in it. My gentleman beside me is Danny. He's the Team 2 leader on our team, and he helps us. He's been with me the longest, so we'll start talking now. And if you have any questions, Cheryl's on the computer. She'll repeat the question to us, and we will answer it back for you. So let's have some fun.
So, how about we start with what orbs are?
Yeah, we'll start from the beginning.
Okay. So before we got here, I went and I Googled and got the AI definition of paranormal orbs. And paranormal orbs are unexplained, glowing circular lights appearing in photos and videos. Believed by some to be spirits, angels, or energy manifestations, especially in haunted locations, but while widely considered by skeptics to be camera artifacts from dust, moisture, insects, or lens reflections illuminated by a flash. So we're seeing two possible sources for orbs: dust and possible paranormal activity. And I guess we've seen a lot of orbs in our days. When we set up to do an investigation, we usually use a DVR with several remote cameras, and these cameras have infrared light. So when the lights are turned out, in order for the cameras to see, it's a very bright, or I should say strong infrared signal that it uses to see in the dark, essentially. And I think we've seen some dust, and I think we've seen some other stuff that's a little harder to explain.
Yeah, we saw a lot of dust when we first started. And then we had to determine from the dust to the orbs, which was pretty easy because the dust goes one way, orbs go different ways. Up and down, side to side. Dust goes from top to bottom unless there's a breeze, and then it goes side to side. But most of the time, if you walk with your socks and a carpet, you'll see dust flying all over the place. And it's similar to look like a little bit of bugs, light reflections, but it's not orbs. Orbs are round, and they come in different colors, different shape. They sometimes join with each other, and they separate from each other. And I'll give you the reasons why they do that and tell you how come they do that. And the colors have a meaning to each one, has certain colors, but most ones we saw are multicolored ones, and I still can't find the answer why they're multicolors. Because usually most people said they're a solid one color, but we've seen multicolors on a black and white camera. So try to explain that one. It's hard.
That's true. I think I've seen a couple of times where we use the security cameras with the infrared light, and whatever we see appears in black and white. There is no color recorded, except for the odd time we've captured some orbs, and there was different color signatures happening on them.
Yeah.
Mind you, if I'm not mistaken, we've seen some larger orbs where I swear you could make out maybe a face or some kind of image inside the orb. It's so large. Do you recall seeing that?
Once. Most of the time I watch them move around, because usually when they move around, the place is not 100% haunted, but it is haunted because the orbs prove that there's some spirits there still moving around and looking for things. what they're looking for. We have no idea, but maybe they're looking for one of their lost loved ones to say goodbye, or just traveling through the houses. Who knows? Because the orbs, they just come out of nowhere. But in my place, I can call the orbs, and sometimes they will show up on my camera for me, but not all the time. So it's like I said, it's hard to control them. If I can control them, I'll be happy. But there's no way you can control the orbs. But we work on it.
So some people don't believe that orbs have anything to do with the paranormal, that they are just dust.
No, orbs are a beginning of a apparitional person because they need a lot of electricity in the air to form the orb, and if they start joining, they make a bigger orb, and the bigger the orb, start forming into a body. So you can see if it's a spirit, not a ghost, a spirit. And nobody can see ghosts. I want to make that perfectly clear right now. I've heard a lot of ghost stories about how I saw a ghost. You don't see ghosts. You only see spirits. And if you want to fight me on that one, we can talk for hours about it. But right now, the orbs are the beginning of an apparitional body. Sometimes you don't have enough electricity in the house to make it happen, and sometimes it happens. But so far, we haven't seen it happen. The most I've seen them are joining together and separating. As soon as I find that video, I will post it on YouTube. You'll be amazed at how they separate and join. But orbs are beginning of apparitional in the spirit world. And the more electricity in the air, the more orbs you're going to get. So on a humid night before a thunderstorm, be a perfect time to look for orbs, because you'll find them because they need that electricity.
So what kind of camera or device do you need to see an orb?
For a camera, if you're using a black and white 35 millimeter film, that's the best way to do it. You can't have color, because sometimes when you get it developed, the color will run into your camera. When you get it developed, and it might show an orb, and it might be purple, but that's not an orb because your film is colored. So you got to have black and white, and sometimes you can get these infrared lenses for your cameras, but you got to make sure they work. Take a couple of pictures, and it's always good to put your film on disc so you can review it better and look on your laptop. But you need a nice, and you got to clean your lens, because if you don't clean your lens, you might think you're seeing thousands of orbs, which is just dirt on your lens. A lot of people make that mistake, and it's a common mistake for amateurs starting out. So if you're going to do camera only, 35 millimeter, black and white, make sure your lenses are clean, make sure your battery fully charged, your camera set up for the night vision, because some have a night vision on it and some don't. And then start practicing in your house. Turn off all the lights in the house, start taking pictures, and see how, when you get it developed, see how the lens is, and you write down in your book what settings you use so you can adjust it. Digital cameras are hard to do because they do not change color. They stay colored. They don't go black and white unless you go in the settings and set it to black and white. But most digitals are all color, so I would not waste my time on that.
Super. That was pretty in depth there.
Yeah.
I've only seen orbs through infrared security camera. I know some Sony camcorders are built with night vision, and they're actually using infrared, but they're the infrared power coming, the light source from those is very weak, not like a security camera. Security camera, when you look at them, you can see them. They literally glow red from the infrared source that's happening. So I think that's why you tend to catch more orbs on security cameras. I've heard of doorbell cameras, which use infrared at night, catching things.
And don't try to use your phone, because your phone does not have infrared on it. And if you put those apps on and say they do, they don't. A true way of getting is use CCTV cameras. They have high power definition infrared, which is the best one you're going to find. And it will work great because you can put two cameras side by side and you can pick up a lot of things, but don't put them directly in front of each other, because you'll get a white whiteout, and you won't see nothing, and it's not an orb. Because I've seen videos when people do that and think it's a big giant orb in their house, and it's not. It's two cameras with the infrared fighting with each other. So that'll be a waste of your time too if you think about that. Always make sure the infrared's not touching or pointing at the other infrared camera, because you won't get anything good. It'd just be a mistake.
So we might not have any viewers right now who can answer this, but if you are watching this video at a later date, feel free to put in the comments the question I'm looking to. The answer is, do you believe that orbs are of a paranormal or a spirit source, or if they're only dust particles being captured on camera? That's I guess the biggest debate out there. Some skeptics will they believe that it's purely dust, and believing that it's something else is reading too much into it. And I don't know if that's true. Everything I do is a scientific method of trying to capture things, like by using security cameras and other devices. And I've seen orbs. Are they of a spiritual source? That's still up to opinion for some people. I've seen orbs fly in patterns that are very difficult to explain. If you want to say that they're dust, well, if you see just a singular one in a recording and it's traveling a particular path, it's hard to say that that is not some kind of spiritual presence, because it follows a distinct path. It's not random. And if it enters a room, swoops around the room, and carries on where there's obviously no other orbs displaying, if you saw many traveling in the same path, you might believe that it's an air current. But to see only one, that raises the question,
And orbs pop in and out. They'll start coming in and then disappear real fast. Dust doesn't do that. You may see it come from the ceiling and drop right to the floor, and then come from the side of the wall right to the other side. Dust don't do that. Dust just flies one way, like I said, up or down or side to side. The orbs, they do. I kind of think they do a little dance once in a while, because some swirls like a drill bit when you're drilling. They swirl down to the ground. Some come straight at your camera and make it look like they're hitting you, and that's the fun part I like. Makes you jump and think about things. And then other times they hover over things, like we did at one place. We have a bear, and every time that bear lights up, an orb flies past it. So it's very interesting to have orbs. And once you realize how many orbs you can capture, they don't last forever. They might last 2 or 3 minutes and disappear. Then an hour later, you might get 5 or 6 of them for 10 minutes, sometimes only 3 minutes. That's why our YouTubes, you only see short videos of orbs, because they don't last very long. And we try to talk to them and get them to stay longer, but like I said, you can't control the spirit world.
Have you ever seen like an orb pass through a person or pass through an object?
Well, you have. When we were at the cemetery and it passed through me, and you were standing there and said, "Did you feel anything?" Remember that one? Over by Henderson Highway. Daytime when we were testing out our equipment on the cemetery.
Yeah, I remember the cemetery.
Yeah. And you don't feel it. Sometimes you might feel a cold chill when they pass through you. They're letting you know that they're there, but they're not going to hurt you. If they are, then you're crazy. Because I had lots of them pass through me, and probably my team members had pass through them, and they're not hurt or injured. They just get cold chills, and it's just, strange, which it is.
So, should orbs be an important part of an investigation, attempting to capture them?
I think it should be a very important part, because then if you see an orb start, you know this place is haunted and there's spirits there that may want to try to talk to you. If you disregard the orbs, it may cause you a little bit of discreet, because your cameras might not be working much better. Because the spirit world does mess around with your equipment. And we know that for a fact. They turn off our cameras. They'll make sounds that you can't determine. So if you're in a house and you see orbs, talk to them with respect. And you might see a lot more than you think. And that'll be a lot more fun doing an investigation than sitting there waiting for nothing.
So, so far I've challenged people to enter in the comments if they believe orbs are paranormal or of a spiritual source. I guess, do you want to touch on a few other things? I think we've talked a lot about orbs.
Well, I'm going to talk about the colors and the shapes and sizes,
Okay.
so people can understand. If you see a white orb or silver, I'm just going to give a couple examples. There's like 6 of them. I want to give 2. It's purity and protection of spirituality. So if you know what they mean, it's a good thing to have. If you see a blue orb, it usually means truth or peace. So if you see a blue orb flying around, you know they're here for peace and they want to talk the truth to you. If you see a green orb, it's a healing and love, which that'd be a lot more better than any other color. A red orb is not what everybody thinks is a demon. It's passionate and earthly safety. It's not a demon eyes or anything else. So remember that red orbs are for passionate and safety. And if you see a yellow or gold orb, it's luck, willpower, and intelligence. So if you see that, that means somebody's smart in your group. A purple or a violet one, psychic vision or spirituality. And that's very hard to see a purple orb all the time. So if you have a psychic or a medium in your group, they might see it before you will. A black orb, and here everybody's going to start thinking death. No, it's a divine guidance, evil in the area, danger, negative energy hanging around. So that if you have a black orb, it means there's a lot of negative energy there, and you got to change it. Change it to a positive one. It's pretty easy. Just smile, be happy, and don't let it get to you. If you do, then you're falling in the negativity, the bracket, and I don't like that. And the shapes of the orbs. There's round ones, which is harmony, long orbs, movement, and multiple orbs. We start strong energy. And that's when you want to see multiple orbs hanging out together. It means strong energy in the house. And orbs with trails means direction. They're pointing to a direction. You have to figure it out, because they're just going like an arrow showing you one direction, and you have to figure what they're trying to tell you. And sometimes it's probably good, or just they're lost. And then, like I said, use your CCTV cameras when you do it nighttime, and you can catch orbs outside, inside. But when you're outside, you got to watch very carefully with the insects, the wind, everything, because we've caught one orb outside. And it was hard to determine if it was an orb or not, because before that a bug flew by and then an orb popped out. So it was kind of hard to determine if it was really an orb or a bug. But when we reviewed it again, it was a small orb just floating around by an empty house. So it's fun to do investigations and learn things. And that's what you should do, be learning, not trying to do thrill seeking or anything else. Because when you do a proper investigation, everybody in the team will learn things as they move along in that house or factory or cemetery. So just be respectful when you go in other people's house, because remember, they invited you. You didn't invite yourself.
I had a quick question.
Okay.
So, after an orb sighting, have you noticed that anything in particular happens after seeing an orb? I don't know, like hearing a sound or
Temperature
having
changes
feeling.
sometimes.
A temperature change might occur. It's like a prequel to some other event occurring. Is that what you find?
Yeah, the temperature change after an orb goes by is the most common one. But some people, when they see orb, they get very happy, which I don't know why, because some people get scared seeing orbs. But some of the houses we didn't do, some of the owners of the house were very excited because they think it's their loved one. So we do not discourage them by saying it's not, because we don't know yet. But when you see an orb, be prepared for the best, because you don't know what could happen. It could change color on you. It could fly right at you. Make sure your cameras are always running when you're doing an investigation of orbs.
Okay.
And you don't need expensive equipment to do an investigation. What the real paranormal investigators used to use was a pencil, paper, a needle, and a cork. That's all they use to do their investigation. And they caught things with the cork, because the needle on a cork is like a compass, and when the spirit goes by, it draws the needle to them. So you'll know that if you're in a house that's really haunted, that needle will spin like crazy. So that's, if you want to do the basic, that's the easiest. But you got to have witnesses too. You got to have a couple friends with you with notepads, so that they can write down times and dates and the weather and what happened. Because if you go by yourself, nobody's going to believe you unless you have cameras going.
I have another one.
Okay.
Another question. I noticed this when I was testing equipment in my own house. I was testing CTV cameras, and I saw orbs in my own house. And I saw some particular activity happening, and I thought that was really interesting. But that made me think, if orbs are spirits, let's say, would anybody who had the right equipment be able to see an orb in their own house?
Yes, they would, if they have the right equipment. CCTV cameras would be the perfect one. You can use the video camera, but you got to make sure it has infrared on it, and you got to make sure you focus the camera in an area, and then if you don't get nothing there, you move it sideways. The CTV has a 90-degree angle, so it picks up 3/4 of the room. So you can put it in the middle of the floor, and half your room will be covered without a problem. Video cameras, they only pick up about 20% of the house or the room or whatever area you're recording, and it's only got a distance of 3 to 4 feet with the infrared. After that, it goes blurry, so you can't see what you have.
So, like, if one of our viewers, let's say, was to have CTV cameras set up in their house, what is the likelihood of that they would be able to capture orbs? Are orbs present all the time, everywhere? We just don't see them, is where I'm...
No, they're not. They're not present all the time. They're only present in certain areas where there's a humidity and electricity. And if somebody passed away in that area, they might be the ones who's staying behind to try to say goodbye to their loved ones. I've been in houses when we had no orbs, and I've been in houses where we had rain orbs. So it all varies in the house and the quality of the house too. Because back in the old days, they used to use the house with mortar and water would be preserved in the bricks. And on electricity, on a nice thunderstorm day, the water would activate as electricity for the spirits, and that's when the orbs start forming. They're using electricity to move around, and the more humidity outside, the better chances you're going to see lots more orbs inside.
Let's see. Do you have anything else about orbs that you want to talk about?
No, I think we covered lots on orbs.
Okay, so is it time for a shameless plug? Looking for new members?
Yeah, we're looking for new team members. One more. What we're looking for is dedication. They want to be experienced. They want to get experience in doing paranormal. They want to learn the paranormal world. It's a volunteer job. Everybody in the team volunteers. You have to be able to be available for one meeting a month and 1 or 2 investigations. If you're working, we understand, because everybody works on the team. But we want somebody who's really want to learn or knows how to use equipment that we have that would help out too, and teach some stuff, because some of the stuff that we already learned by hands-on. But if you're experienced in electronics like cameras, be more than happy to sit down and talk to you. You got the website. Go on the website where it says volunteer with us. Fill out the ad, and then we'll interview you. And then we'll figure out if you're the right person for the team or not. Because we got 5 people on the team that fit like a glove, and we want another one to fit in that section with us. Doesn't matter your age. You got to be over 18, and you got to be able to understand a few things. We will teach you. Each team member will teach you certain things. And if you want to be on the team, just give us a little email. Go on our website, and we'll contact you.
And we pretty much guarantee that you're going to see orbs.
Yeah. We'll guarantee that you'll have a lot of fun doing this and
true.
learn.
That's true.
If you don't, then there's something wrong with you. And we don't need people who are afraid of their own shadows, because we do go in dark places at times.
That's true. Lights out. Lights out.
Yeah. And we do be able to carry up to 50 pounds, because our tubs are pretty heavy at times. Depends on what the situation is. But we're looking for new clients. Anybody who thinks their house is haunted, just give us a call, and we'll come on down, interview you, and talk to you about it. Don't be afraid, because we had one lady thought her house wasn't haunted, and we're there all the time now because it's fascinating. It's a lot of stuff that we're learning at her house that she doesn't even know about it. It turns out to be a good investigation for us.
So we're also looking to perhaps make this an ongoing series where we can talk about different topics. Today's topic was orbs, but we've got a lot of different things lined up. If you want to see anything in particular, be sure to add it to the comments to this video, and like and subscribe. Right?
Yeah, subscribe, because we're only at 274 subscribers. I like to see 300 before Christmas of this year. That's not a lot, but it's still good for us. We're at 89,000 viewers. I like to hit 90,000 before Christmas. So if you want to watch our show, if you like our stuff, make comments, because we have no bad comments. Everybody's happy with what they see. We give them everything that possible that they like. And one thing I just got to let you know, all CCTV cameras have no audio anymore. They cancel the audio due to the Privacy Act. So when we put up videos and you don't hear audio, don't text me and say no audio, because I'm telling you now, there's no audio on any. We have one equipment with audio that we're working on, trying to get it working, but it's hard. So just be patient with us. We'll get the audio going sooner or later. And we have a lot of road trips coming up this summer, and sites that are actually said they're haunted, and we're going to go test them out and see if they are, and give you updates and see how everything goes on those sites. And these are all outdoor sites, not indoor, so it'd be kind of interesting to find something.
Yep, we'll probably discuss some of our investigations. If you take a look at our YouTube videos, you're going to see some of our adventures are recorded there, and you never know what we're going to see. And we've done investigations. We've gone to abandoned locations,
Cemeteries, abandoned psych wards. We've been to the Selkirk boats. We've been all around Manitoba. If you have a site that you want us to go visit, send it to us, and we'll check it over and see if it's worth going, and then we'll go and record everything. If you want us to go to your house, our service is free, so let us know. We'll be happy to come in and tell you if your place is haunted or not. If you got lots of questions you want to talk about private, we can do that too. We'll meet at a coffee shop, sit there and talk, whatever you want to talk about. We want to be here for the community to help them out and give them as much comfort as possible in the paranormal world. It's not what you see on TV. It's not all real. Remember that.
And the easiest way to contact us is through our email address or the website. There is a form if you want to get in touch with us. So we're very available.
It's lots of fun. And again, lots of fun we're having. So,
Okay, well, let's wrap it
so
up.
I guess we'll have to end it now because we're running out of things to talk about, and that's unusual for us. But we'll come back in February. We'll post the time and date on the YouTube channel for the next live video. Hopefully, we hear from everybody or somebody who wants to talk to us. If not, we'll keep doing this until you guys feel comfortable enough to give us a little chat on the thing. I know you may not like talking and let people see it, but you can also private message us too, and we can talk about it. You guys have a good night, and see you next month. Thank you for tuning in. Where it says end video.